to Someone's Random Kitchen in my temporary home this week. I am Brittany Bass, a full-time passenger seat princess and operations manager of Matt Becker Fishing. For those of you who don't know me, I am also Matt Becker's girlfriend. He is a professional bass fisherman on the Bass Pro Tour with Major League Fishing, and we are in our full swing of the second season on this tour. So with this channel and podcast, I plan to bring some of the best wives, fiancés, and girlfriends on to talk about their lives, their interests, their families, and their superstitions, because we got them too, and all the other behind-the-scenes goodness that goes into making a tournament season possible. So welcome back. This is episode 2 of Random Kitchens. Okay, welcome back. This week I have the pleasure of introducing a full-time RV hitching and fishing guru, a multi-poo mama, and wife of Tackle Warehouse Invitational professional angler, Kyle Cortiana. So please welcome this quilting queen, Miranda Cortiana.
What an introduction.
I know. Welcome to the show.
No, me and Marshall are excited to be here.
Well, thank you. Everyone, this is Marshall the multi-poo.
Yes. This is my best buddy, my co-pilot. He is always with me.
Are you guys ready for the season to kick off?
Oh, yeah. We're super excited for this season.
Does he know, like, it's tournament season?
Well, yeah, because he knows when we start loading the camper up, it's time to hit the road. He gets excited. He knows our routine really well by now.
So how old is he, actually?
He will be 3 this summer, so he's about 2.5, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
So run down real quick for me, for people who don't know you. Who are you? Where are you from?
Okay, I'm Miranda Cortiana. I'm Kyle Cortiana's wife. I'm from Oklahoma, born and raised in Ardmore, Oklahoma. I met Kyle in Stillwater, Oklahoma, and then we set roots in the Tulsa area of Oklahoma.
Perfect. So how many years has he been fishing professionally now?
So he's fished competitively since we got married around 2000, 10 small jackpot tournaments, but more of a professional level. He made Angler of the Year in the Costa Southwest Division in 2016, and so he got his invite to fish the FLW Tour in 2017. So
perfect.
Really since 2017 professionally.
And then how long have you been traveling with him?
Since 2022 season.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what did you do before you were traveling with him?
Well, we both worked full-time. Kyle was a civil engineer full-time and balancing the professional fishing stuff.
On top of it?
On top of it. Whew. It was too much. And then my background is x-ray. I did interventional radiology and cardiac cath lab for about 13 years. So we were just kind of balancing these 2 full-time jobs and then his fishing on top of it, and it was just too much. So
it's like a lot.
Yeah.
We'll kind of dive into that side in a little bit, but first let's jump into RV life. So to start, Miranda and Kyle's, their family functions a little bit different than most. They are actually not only a full-time fishing family, but they are a full-time RVing family. So obviously it definitely makes me jealous because I love when we go from Airbnb to Airbnb, we are constantly bringing all of our crap and dumping it.
Yes.
And with an RV, everything just travels with you. The area moves. So how did that happen?
Well, so in 2021, I would travel with Kyle to one tournament a year, and it was always Florida. Who doesn't want to go to Florida for the nice weather? So we were at the Harris Chain of Lakes, and we stayed in a small studio apartment above a garage. And while I was there, I'm like, this is all we need for life, for the two of us. We have everything we need in this small space. And so it kind of got my wheels to turn in, I could live a more simple lifestyle. And so we went back to work, did our thing, and then my parents upgraded their fifth wheel, and they got a new one. So me and Kyle went inside of it, and we're like, this is nice. It is literally a tiny house on wheels. It has everything you could possibly need. So then we kind of brainstormed and thought, he's a good fisherman, he's a good civil engineer, but he felt like he wasn't great at either one of them because of the balance. So we kind of just decided, let's just do it. We don't have kids. We didn't have dogs at the time. So we put our house on the market, and it sold in 1 weekend.
Dang.
The housing market, yeah. And so we got a fifth wheel and a new truck, and we've just been full-time living in the RV ever since and pursuing this fishing dream. So
that's so as far as like logistics, because obviously going from a house to an RV, like,
oh yeah.
One, let's start with who pulls what.
Okay.
So you have a boat and an RV.
Yeah, we have a big fuel expense between our two vehicles and the boat. So Kyle pulls his Vexus bass boat with his Toyota Tundra, and then I pull our fifth wheel. It's a 37-foot fifth wheel. And I kind of decided to do that because, A, I got the new truck. And I didn't want to share a truck with Kyle. I wanted the new truck. But also just to be independent. And I wanted to learn the ins and outs of pulling the RV, how to hook it up, set it, break it down. That way, if Kyle, something happened with his boat and he's not there to help me, I know I can be independent and do it on my own. So,
I love that.
Yeah.
And just so you guys know, she rolled up with a dually. The thing is huge. So it's not just a little truck.
Yeah.
It's a big old truck and a big old camper.
I get a lot of looks. I was in the drive-thru one time and someone's like, wow, look at that little girl in that big truck.
Like,
yeah. You get used to it, yeah.
That's like one of my favorite things when I'm like backing the boat. Especially if I'm like fresh nails or something. I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you store your fishing tackle? Or like all of your stuff actually?
Yeah, we have definitely downsized. When we sold our house, so many garage sales, so much marketplace sales. We literally sold everything but the clothes on our back, I felt like. Which is very freeing, by the way. Yeah. So we've embraced like a minimalist lifestyle for sure with the travel life. But you should see Kyle's truck and boat. It is loaded to the max with tackle. Like you open the bed of his truck and it's like a mini Bass Pro Shop in there. You know.
Yeah, I was gonna say like we have it as like a tackle wall, but I could only imagine like.
Oh yeah.
He probably. I mean, he's really organized.
You have to be. Yeah. You have to be organized. So. We've got tons of tackle in the truck and boat, and then we still have fishing poles in our living room and the fifth wheel.
So is your fifth wheel like living room, bedroom? Is it one space?
So,
like how does it?
Yeah, it's kind of divided up. We bought this particular model because it has a desk in it. So Kyle does all the editing of his videos. You're such a good woman. I don't do the editing, but Kyle does. So. He needed that dedicated space. So you walk in our camper, it's like our living room and then our kitchen, and then he's got his desk over there. And then you go upstairs like 3 steps into our bathroom and our bedroom. So
I like it.
It's a nice setup. Yeah.
And y'all have an island.
Yeah,
like
we have
it's
a
like
big kitchen island. Yeah, it's really nice. It's totally livable. Yeah. Nice 4-burner stove, oven, a residential fridge. It's just like it's a house on wheels, a tiny house,
I love it. I feel like it's like better than a tiny house too, because it doesn't, or at least when I went in there, it didn't feel cramped at all. It like actually felt like a
because you have the slides. We have 3 slides in our fifth wheel, so it really expands the space up, and it's lighter colored inside, and you have all the windows, so it feels really open.
How do you guys get mail?
So
random, but
my poor father-in-law. So that's kind of our home address, your domicile address, I think is what they call it when you travel full time. We have our mail sent to him, and then we do FaceTime. He gets really excited. Yeah, it'll have his little letter opener, and you'll hear.
I love that.
So we do that. I don't know. Once the mail kind of piles up, we do that. But I think we've kind of helped get rid of all the junk mail, but yeah, we do that probably once a month. Yeah,
that's nice. So his house would be y'all's domicile location.
Yeah, yeah. Domicile. That's what it's called. Yeah.
That's. I was wondering how that all worked, because obviously, like, we have stuff going everywhere, as far as like Amazon packages.
Oh yeah.
But I didn't know about your like actual bell mail.
Yeah, it goes there. But you should see our Amazon account. I think I have like 30 addresses on our Amazon account. Just save from everywhere we go, and I'll reuse them when we return to that campground. Yeah.
So what do you like most about RV life?
Oh, really, there's nothing to not love about RV life. I have no regrets at all going RV life. I think the best thing is just the freedom.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm not working full time anymore. I don't set an alarm. Like, it's so freeing to not have to wake up to an alarm. I get to help Kyle where he needs help. I get to just enjoy my day and go outside, get some vitamin D. Me and Marshall go on walks and hikes all the time. I have a hobby of quilting, so I do a lot of that now. But yeah, I think just the freedom of the travel and seeing different parts of the country, meeting new people, making friends. I don't know. It's a great lifestyle. Yeah, it is.
I love that. Me and Matt did like a trip out west, and I remember telling him like I just love having all of our stuff here.
Yeah.
I like obviously I love being with him. I was like, it's like perfect, really.
Yeah.
It's very, freeing. I think it's a great
really
word.
freeing. Yes.
So kind of the same avenue. What's the hardest if you had to pick a hard part?
Probably the hardest is, sometimes you have to, run and gun from tournament to tournament. Sometimes that can be a little stressful, just loading up the camper fest. Yeah, and just shooting straight to your next destination with no rest. And Kyle's wore out, just like Matt is after a tournament. So that's probably, the low of RV life, because you're hauling 2 rigs. And then, obviously, we don't see our family and friends for, 10 months out of the year, unless they come and visit us. So that, that's hard, but we make up for that lost time in the off season, in the winter. And then I don't have a dishwasher. I wish I had a dishwasher.
You don't have a dishwasher?
No. I have the hookups for it. Yeah. I just need to convince Kyle to buy one.
I saw my sister doesn't have a dishwasher at her house in Florida, and we saw this one that sits on the counter, a little one.
I've seen those.
I don't know how expensive they are or how good they are.
Well,
but
you can't do many dishes. But I'm sick of being the dishwasher.
Yeah,
it gets old after a while, but.
That's funny. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. Maybe one day we'll get one in there. I don't know. But no. RV life's good.
How do you guys, navigate around each other in the RV? Do you have, or I guess, self-care? I like my own space, as you know. I kind of get that while he's out on the water all day. I can do whatever I want. Yeah. But how do you guys navigate that? I guess it's probably similar.
Yeah, as far as self-care, the guys are on the water all day. So I get plenty of time to myself. So that's not really an issue for me. As far as our little bathroom, I'm very simple. I did hair and makeup for you and you today, but otherwise I normally just jump in the shower, brush my hair, good, you know. So and then just self-care as far as just how I'm feeling. I'm outside a lot, go for walks. I like to read. I like to quilt. So I have my hobbies to keep me happy. And you don't feel too cramped in the camper. Now, when Kyle is home, sometimes he's kind of loud. So sometimes I have to distance myself from him if he's on the phone or he's watching, MLF, the tour, watching the video, it can get a little loud in the camper, so I might walk outside or something.
Yeah, I guess it does probably ricochet sound more than...
it definitely does. There's no walls, there's no barriers, so yeah, it gets loud quick.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Do you guys have, OCD things with your camper, setup-wise or just routines that you do?
Kyle makes fun of me because I'm, super organized. So I like baskets, and then I like a basket in that basket,
Well, you have to, quarter it off.
For sure, yeah, especially in the camper because you don't have a whole lot of storage. So I'm very OCD with storage and being organized. We do not wear shoes inside the camper. And even at that, you're still sweeping the camper 10 times a day, I feel like. Cause it's
Is it hardwood?
It's it's not hardwood, but I don't know, linoleum.
Like a vinyl?
Yeah,
okay.
vinyl. And then his little furry feet, we have to, constantly clean his feet, but yeah.
At least he's curly.
Oh,
so
he's
that
so
probably
curly.
helps.
It does, yeah. But, and Kyle, the under storage area of our camper, for water hookups, sewer hookups, he's got it organized to his liking, so yeah.
Does he do all the hookups when you guys
Most of the time, we have a routine where I do the inside stuff when we get there, and he does the outside. But like I said, I can do both, but when we're working as a team, he does the outside stuff. Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah.
What is it? What do they call it? Not dream work. Teamwork makes the dream work, but basically teamwork makes the teamwork.
And it makes it quicker.
Yeah. So, in the off season, when you don't have like a destination, because obviously for tournaments, they like know where they're going, where do you go?
So right now, the off season, usually starts around September, October. My parents live in Ardmore, Oklahoma, like southern Oklahoma by Texas. His dad is in Tulsa. I have a brother in Bentonville, Arkansas. He's got his mom and sister in Fort Smith. So we're kind of dispersed in the off season to visit all our family and make up for that lost time. So I spend a lot of time in Ardmore. He's mostly in Tulsa. So we're not always together in the off season, which I don't like. But we have things that we need to take care of. Yeah. And I like to quilt with my mom in Ardmore and work on our business. And Kyle, he's a huge deer hunter. So a lot of his fall, winter season is dedicated to deer hunting. So,
okay.
So we see each other, we'll come stay at each other's house or whatever, my family's house. But we're kind of split, so we're hoping maybe in the future to get some property somewhere and park our camper.
Okay.
And maybe have that space together, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
So do you typically like park the camper at like your parents and then he goes to his dad's?
Yeah. Okay. So my camper is parked on my parents' property. My dad has a big shop and he's got like a overhang on the shop and we just park it under there. Yeah.
So do you stay in that while you're there?
No.
Or y'all just
my parents
park it for the off season?
Mm-hmm. Nice. My parents have a spare bedroom, so I have my own bedroom and bathroom. Yeah. They just spoil me like I'm a young child in their house. Thanks, Mom and Dad. Like I don't have to lift a finger.
Shout out! Fabulous.
Yeah. So
it's gotta be nice too, coming out of the like full season swing and just being like
little princess.
Yes.
Yeah. No, off season, like I said, it's bittersweet. So I'm really glad to be back in the camper with Kyle again.
Yeah.
Hitting the road. Yeah.
Well, it makes sense, especially if he's hunting all of the time. Like, at least you can
do something that I enjoy.
Yes. Yeah, and split that off season.
That's
give
important.
You like a break.
That's right.
We always have to like cycle off of bass. On the off season, typically, I'm like trying to get us somewhere remote enough that he like can't think about a bass.
Right.
At least for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So it probably
does he hunt? Is he a deer? He does.
No, he's all
lucky.
Bass fishing. So like I'm like, we're going hiking. We're no cell signal. Like, how remote can we get?
You need that time off from the fishing too. So
I think like if we don't go somewhere far enough or like kind of remote enough, like his brain just won't click off.
Yeah.
So I could see how like getting in the woods and deer hunting definitely helps.
He loves hunting. He loves it almost as much as fishing. Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah.
I know a lot of the like bass guys, they'll say they tournament bass fish to fuel their hunting habits. It's like their hunting hobbies.
For sure.
Okay, so a lot of fishing families do actually travel in RVs to the tournaments. They'll have like a home base, but they'll travel. Do you guys have like an RV crew you typically run with, or is it like you just pick a spot and meet the people around you?
It's kind of yes and no on that. So we had some couples we used to kind of RV and meet with, but now they're more fishing with bass.
Okay.
So like the opens and elite. So we don't cross paths as often with them, and I do miss them. But like right now, Jimmy Reese and his wife are camping behind us. I think
he's a really nice guy.
Oh, he's really nice. Yeah. John Canada. Do you know John? Like he's got his truck camper. We see him a lot. So you're kind of surprised how many guys have truck campers or fifth wheels and they'll be camping in the same area as us. And we may not know they're going to be there, but yeah, you might have dinner or sit around the campfire with them and drink a beer.
Yeah.
But if I don't see my friends on the road, we try to meet up if we're in the same area and go have sushi or something together. Yeah.
I do love sushi.
Yeah. Y'all should get a camper. And
I know.
Camp together.
Trust me, girl. I'm working on it because, like, I really want a dog. So, yeah. We actually almost ended up with a dog. She kind of found us.
Aww.
And that same night, Matt was, like, Googling how expensive it would be to buy a truck and a camper.
It's ridiculous.
Literally, like, this was the week before Christmas last year, and we were about to start the season. I'm like, babe, we cannot, change the whole thing this year.
Yeah.
But I see
Plan
it, like,
it out.
in
Maybe
the future.
Next year. Yeah.
I could see it in the future for
Marshall
sure.
needs a buddy. Yeah.
So, what is something you and Kyle didn't know but wish you did before going full-time RV? It could be like a good thing or a bad thing, like something you wish you had like accounted for.
Yeah. I guess, I grew up camping, so I kind of knew quite a bit about RVs. And then my dad is just my go-to with questions about the RV. Learning the maintenance in and outs of the camper, because there's a lot of maintenance on a camper. You might arrive to your next destination and like there's a piece of trim board laying in the floor. You're like, what the heck? Like, I think the biggest thing is just learning the ins and outs as far as like when you get to your destination, when you bring your slides out, bring them like halfway out and then check around and make sure there's not like a bottle of water or something randomly in the floor so it traps your slide out.
I didn't think about that.
Oh, there's a lot of things like that. And camping's actually kind of expensive if you're not staying in one spot seasonally. So there's an expense to it, and then obviously the extra fuel expense.
Would you say is like a RV spot the same as like a hotel? Or cheaper than a hotel?
Typically, we book our spots for like $30 to $45 a night, so it is cheaper.
Yeah, that's significantly
yeah,
cheaper.
We're not paying for water or electric unless we stay somewhere more than a month. You usually have to pay for your electric, but it's cheap. But sometimes when you get up north, like New York, like everything gets more expensive the further north you go. So sometimes you may pay $60 a night for a site, but it's still way cheaper than a hotel
every night.
Yeah.
I know, like, we're able to do Airbnbs mainly because we split it.
You split the cost.
Yeah, otherwise, like, it would be, like, grossly too expensive.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
So, kind of getting into the personal side of things, I got into this life, through Bumble, but y'all's story also starts with a B.
Oh, yeah.
Where did you guys meet? How did y'all meet?
So, we met in college at Buffalo Wild
Wings.
So, I worked there one summer while Kyle was back in Tulsa. I think he worked at Sonic that summer while in college. When he came back, I was the new girl. And so we just hit it off right away at Buffalo Wild Wings and started dating. So, yeah.
Were y'all, like, friends for a while? Like, how did that...
I think we started dating pretty much, like, just shortly after meeting each other. Probably within, like, a week or so, yeah.
Did you instantly like him, or did he, like, come on?
Oh, no. He was smitten by me. No, my accent is not near as redneck as it used to be, but he liked my redneck accent, and I drove a truck with dual exhaust. He thought that was, like, just so cool. Girl of his dreams, right? And then he took me fishing and saw that I knew how to fish, and we golfed. I could swing a golf club. I mean, that's all it took, I think.
Dang, boys are simple.
Our are so simple.
As long as you, like, know how to have a good time.
No, we just hit it off right away.
That's so fun. So what's your favorite date, like, he ever took you on?
Oh.
Did he used to plan your dates, or, like, how did that go?
Yeah, he was definitely more of a romantic early on in our relationship. In college, he had a canoe. So he took us out to the Illinois River when we were dating, and we floated all day long and caught a bunch of smallmouth. Like, we lifted the rocks and caught crawdads. Like, we're so redneck, right? And then we'd pitch a tent in the evenings and then float again the next day. That's probably one of my favorite dates we had.
That is awesome.
So much fun. And
what
then
river was that?
Illinois River.
Oh,
it's like crystal clear. It's really beautiful.
Oh my gosh.
And then our first Valentine's Day in like 2017, he surprised me and took me into Guthrie, Oklahoma. It's like an old historical town. And we did a horse carriage ride. I didn't know we were going to do that. And it was really cold. And it started snowing.
So, like, perfect, like,
it was
magical.
Like a Hallmark
movie.
That's probably the sweetest date.
I'm such a sucker for that. Like, Hallmark definitely destroyed me. Your expectations.
Yeah. No.
Not that it's an actual expectation, but, like, when it comes true, you're like, oh my god.
Yeah, it was perfect. It was so nice. So.
It's that whole, like, if they wanted to, they would mentality, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's true.
That's funny.
So, y'all been together... Married.
Yeah. We'll have our 15th wedding anniversary this year. We started dating in 2006, married in 2009.
Oh my god.
I know, it goes so fast.
That's so wild.
Yeah.
Y'all got him 3 years ago,
We got him 2 years ago. It was our first travel season, 2022, and I got him when we were in Virginia. I adopted him on the road. Yeah.
Just randomly, or how did you find him?
Well, I kind of was I wanted a dog. You know, like with Matt on the water all the time, Kyle on the water, you get a little lonely if you don't have someone to hang out with. And I've always been a dog person. So I looked on adoptapet.com, and you can search by the type of breed you're looking for. Yeah. And I wanted a small, non-shedding dog, like a poodle mix. And you could search the area you're in. And so we found him in Richmond, Virginia.
That's where I'm from.
Oh, really?
All good people come from Richmond. Well, Powhatan, but it's right in
close
Richmond.
There. Yeah. So we drove 2 hours and went and picked him up the next day after I saw that. Yeah.
From Potomac? Is that where y'all went?
We were camping at the Potomac River. Or no, I take that back. We were on the James River.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It was meant to be. I found him.
That's too fun. So, kind of like with RV life in y'all's relationship, do you think RV life has strengthened your relationship, or like had y'all at your wits' end, or
no? It's definitely better because I get to be with Kyle every day, whereas before when we were both working full time and him fishing, I would go weeks at a time without seeing him. So RV life is great because I get to help him on the road, make sure he's got a warm meal when he gets home, and I get to see him every day. So yeah,
I think that like definitely, you know, with both people working, it's almost missed how often you aren't spending with them. Yeah. So I definitely like find like a ton of value in just being able to like absorb that, and I'm like super thankful for that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So was he fishing when y'all started dating? You kind of touched on it, but
yeah, he was doing like, well, he didn't get a boat till after we got married.
So he was co-angler.
Well, he always fished with his dad, or he would co-angler with one of his buddies in tournaments in Tulsa. But when we got married, shortly before that, he bought a boat, like an old, like, 70s model boat. Yeah. It was a piece of junk. I think he paid $800 for his first boat. And I remember you'd fire up the motor and, like, big, like, plumes of, like, dark smoke would come out. But he was so proud of that first boat.
It's probably like a two-stroke that, like, has that little
He actually had, like, a Mercury, like, 115 horsepower motor, but it was an old one. But I remember, like, when the first times we took it out on the lake and went fishing, the steering cable broke on it.
Oh, no.
So, like, it would only turn right. So the whole way back to the boat ramp, we were doing big right circles all the way back to the boat ramp.
What did he say when he got there?
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's just a memory we still laugh about to this day.
That's too funny. Actually, that's like very smart that he like knew to do that too. I would just be sitting there going.
Right. It was so funny. He's always fished, but not competitively until like later in life. So collegiate fishing wasn't a thing when we were in college. Yeah. We're just old enough where that wasn't a thing.
Mm-hmm. I know, now it's like kind of taking it by storm.
Oh, yeah. It's such a nice like shoe-in for these guys. Yeah. Like, you learn so much in an early young age. So I wish Kyle could have experienced that. Yeah.
Even just for the club mentality.
Oh, yeah.
So how did the leap go from I'm just kind of like fun fishing small tournaments to like we're now, like, I'm a professional, like, I want full-time, like, how on earth did that?
Well, like I said, like, in 2016, he was fishing the Costa Series, and he won Angler of the Year. So that was his shoe-in to fish the FLW Tour for 2017. And then he's just fished at that level ever since for 8 years now, through FLW and now MLF, the Invitational. So, yeah.
And just so you guys know, the FLW Tour is now the MLF Invitational Tour. So a national tour through Major League Fishing. And actually, that's how we met.
Yeah.
So, It's very small world.
It is.
So dating to marriage, like, obviously the tournament season for you guys has changed because now you're traveling full-time.
Yeah.
But is it what you expected? Is it better than expected? Is how he fishes before different now that you guys are full-time? Like, has it changed?
I think the full-time lifestyle has been helpful to him. I can help relieve some of the stress of just, like, the day-to-day, like, just needs as far as, like, laundry, cooking, cleaning of the house. He doesn't have to worry about any of that while we're traveling. I'll take care of all that. If he needs me to back the boat trailer in or something, I can do that for him. I guess. Did I answer that?
yeah, like, you think like, he's probably gotten better on the fishing front because you are there.
He definitely had his best season, 2022, when we first started traveling together. So I think there's something to say about that.
I remember when Matt and I started dating, he was like, no offense, but, like, if I start sucking, like, this probably isn't going to work out. And I was like, absolutely, no offense taken. Like, I would not want to jeopardize your career. No. It was a very good season, so it was fine.
Yeah,
but
that's hilarious.
I just remember having the conversation because I was like, no
pressure.
Yeah, like, I'm not going to stop your dreams, you know? Like,
right?
Especially because we're just new. So.
Right? That's hilarious.
So, was your canoe your most fun memory together? Do you have...
Probably one of our best ones, yeah. And then the broken motor, that's a good memory. When Kyle proposed to me in 2000, what was that, 7 or 8, and we went deep sea fishing the next day, and he caught a mako shark, like a 280-pound mako shark.
Holy cow.
That's a really fun memory for us. And then, like, all our pictures, I'm holding, like, all these, you know, like, dead, bloody fish, and I had this, like, big, pretty, like, sparkly ring, you know? Yeah, so that was a good memory for us.
Did you know you were gonna get engaged?
No.
That's the best.
No. I was completely shocked. Completely shocked. Kyle was on his knee a little longer than he wanted to be. I was like, are you sure? Are you really sure you want to marry me? I was not prepared at all, but it was the best decision I ever made. So
that is so fun. Yeah. No, I feel like now you kind of, like, or at least with my girlfriends, like, some of them know that they're, like, not planning the engagement, but they're, like, planning to get married. So it's, like, kind of they know they're about to get engaged. But I wanted to be, like, I want to be, like, smacked in the face with it. Like, I
totally shocked.
Don't want to know at all.
Yeah, totally shocked.
So, does Minnie Marsh like being on the boat as well?
Marshall is not a boat dog. So, Marshall, he doesn't.
I didn't know that.
He doesn't like the wind.
Oh, yeah, I could see that.
He is very interested in the fish. Like, when Kyle boats a fish, he'll want to, like, smell it or lick it. But he's mostly in my lap if we're on the boat.
Does he have a little life preserver?
He does. He has a little life jacket, and it's got a little shark fin on the back of it. He looks really cute in it.
I bet you do.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
He just doesn't like the wind.
No, that makes sense.
He gets most excited as we're pulling into the dock, and then his tail starts wiggling like, land!
He's like, we're home! I can go back to my little area on the couch.
Yeah.
His little corner, or the little station in the middle. Okay, so last question. We're going to take a little bit of a break for honorables cheers and a little bit of margaritas. Or semi-margaritas. We did LaCroix. But, so for a new or established fishing couple, would you recommend RV living?
Definitely, yeah. Like you said, it's nice having everything you need in one spot, and you're not unloading and packing things from point A to point B. It's your perfect little getaway. When Kyle gets off the water, it's nice to come home.
Yeah, home.
Yeah. So I definitely recommend it. Yeah.
Okay, so today we are going to do our honorable cheers to Marshall, obviously, because he's the cutest little fur baby ever.
He's the best boy.
So cheers to you, Minnie
Marshall.
We love you. We're going to take a break, and then we'll come back.
Okay.
All right, we are back after our little break. So let's get a little bit more into your business, so your own and the family business of bass. So let's start with the bass side. Do you think being able to travel full time, and we kind of touched on this, has made Kyle more successful as a fisherman?
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, 2022 was our best season, so that's when we started traveling. So yeah, I think just having that home base for him to come back to, it's been wonderful, and it's just less stress on his plate for sure. Yeah.
So what is your number one goal, and this isn't on here, but what is your number one fishing goal for this year?
Oh, well, I'm proud of Kyle, all his achievements he's accomplished this past 8 years, but you always want to climb that ladder and get better each year. And so, like, obviously BPT would be a huge goal for Kyle. That's kind of the next platform we'd like for him to fish. So I'm crossing my fingers. Maybe 2024 is his year, because he's come close before, and you just want nothing but great things for your husband. So, and I think he would really shine in the BPT format too. And he's naturally good on camera, and he's a good showman for the sport. So he would get more camera time, and he could, represent his sponsors and stuff. So that's kind of our goal, I think. Yeah.
And just so you guys know, the invitationals is the way to qualify for the Bass Pro Tour, the BPT, and they take the top 5. So of every season. So super exciting, but it's very difficult.
Yeah.
So definitely we'll be following up on that as the season goes. And actually, so touching on his accomplishments a little bit. The last time I actually got to see them was in August of the St. Lawrence tournament.
Oh, wow.
And Kyle actually top 10'd it. So that was like super, super awesome.
Oh, so exciting. Yes. He loves fishing the St. Lawrence River. Yeah. So
that's a crazy one because people make some really long runs.
Oh,
you can stay in the river. Like 90 miles in a boat. So not only like
fathom that.
I know, like 90 miles in a car is like one thing. That's like an hour and a half in a car, right? So going 60 miles an hour, obviously. Yeah. In a boat, just like, and the St. Lawrence is like big waves. So I mean, they're like crazy out there.
Yeah. More motor running than fishing almost. Yes. They're driving so much. Yeah. But,
insane. Like they have to stop and get gas. Like it is wild.
It is gnarly. But yeah, he loves that fishery. So yeah, top 10. Yeah. I'm so excited to be there for that. That is the blessing I get now traveling with him, is to be able to be front row seat for any success he has. And then my parents were there for that tournament. Yes, it was so perfect. And then his mom drove up also, and his sister.
Gosh.
Yeah, they
that's
surprised
a far
us.
Away.
Oh, from Arkansas and Oklahoma. Yeah.
What? How far is that?
Oh,
it's like 20
hours.
Yeah,
over 20
Holy
hours.
Cow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. That's so exciting. Yeah. So that was the last tournament, and then we had this off season, and she kind of touched on this, but I want to like dive a little bit more into it. So this off season, she did something pretty cool with her mom. So she started a business.
We did a very small business. It's called Wildflower Quilting. So my mom has quilted for about 6 or 7 years, and I just started a couple years ago. And so we make baby quilts, throw size quilts, bigger quilts. And we use, great premium fabrics. We machine stitch everything, and I think we produce a really good product, and I'm really proud of us, and we're both very passionate about it. So check out Wildflower Quilting if you need a quilt in your life.
So how did you get started in quilting? And while you kind of go into it, I'm going to grab mine because it's
you got to show them. Brittany, she bought a quilt for me. It's so cute. I'm glad she likes it. I got started quilting, just like I said, because my mom was a quilter. So she introduced me to it.
So I am so obsessed. So
isn't it cute?
It's obviously full size, but I'm going to show you guys why I'm so obsessed. So I love animals, if you did or did not know that. But I also love. So, Hallmark Queenie over here. But look at these. She's stitched in. Look, all these little squares have different animal couples on them. And I'm like so obsessed. So I saw this online a couple times because she had posted it on her Wildflower Quilting page on Facebook, and then her husband had posted it, and I was like, well, so I looked at Matt, and I was like, you're getting me this for Valentine's Day? And he was like, oh, I am.
I love it. It's perfect. You'll like it on the road. It'll be perfect for your travels. And we do the minky on the back of most of our quilts, so it's like a soft, cuddly material. So you get the pretty quilt and then the soft side on the back.
I'm like obsessed. So I thought it was so awesome. I saw Wildflower Quilting come to be in this off season. Yeah. And I knew that you sewed because actually Kyle did something pretty cool in their camper. They took their dining area and he made it her sewing station. Yeah. So I think the first one I saw, we were in Okeechobee maybe.
Probably. I think, Okeechobee. Yeah.
And you had made purses, too.
Yeah, I make bags, quilts, like his little bandana. Come here, Marsh. Let's show him your bandana.
Oh, his little outfits.
Yeah. Little bandana. It's just something I enjoy, and I get to be creative. And it's something I can do from the road, too, which is nice. And Kyle, he pushes me. He's proud of me, and he likes to show off my quilts and stuff to help me sell them.
Yeah, so, he does. Yeah. He's
super a good guy. Yes.
So, what is the piece that you're most proud of?
As far as my quilts?
Yeah. Or I mean, anything that you've put together. But
I made it was like a shadow star pattern, and it kind of had boho colored fabric. It was really pretty, and I really wanted to keep it. But one of my friends in Tennessee, she's so sweet. Her and her husband, she fell in love with quilts. So I just shipped it to her right before we left Ardmore. So she should be getting it pretty soon. So yeah.
Do you guys make your own patterns, or how do you, like, you're just testing out different things?
Mostly we use a pattern that's already made. We've, pieced some quilts together for fun using our own pattern. But usually we'll use a pattern already made. Yeah.
So how do you bring it on the road with you?
Okay. Yeah. I have obviously my own sewing machine and the dedicated space, a big desk. And then I have too much fabric than I should have in a camper. We probably are loaded down to the max on our weight. But yeah, I've got everything organized in the camper. So if I need something, it's right there at hand's grasp. And then
Does he help you?
Who? Marshall, of course he helps me. No, this guy is a distraction from quilting because he wants my attention 24/7. So, but he's a mom's best boy, so he'll just sit and watch me quilt.
I love it. What I guess pushed you guys to turn it into a business? Had you made quilts before, or like?
No. So my mom has made, I think she's made over 60 quilts just for friends and family, just gifting them. Yeah. And then she's made, I don't know, probably 100 more on top of that. So my mom has all these quilts at home. We're like, Mom, we got to get these sold. Like, her bedroom is just filled with all these beautiful quilts. So we decided the Facebook page, we would start there and see what we could sell. And we've had some success at it. So, and maybe one day we'll go into Etsy and sell from there too. But yeah, we had to get rid of some of the stuff because you enjoy making it, but you can't keep it all. So, yeah.
So, business-wise, do you help with his side of the business? Does he help with your side of the business? Like, how do you balance two businesses pumping out of your RV? Yeah.
Right? I would say we're both independent in our own businesses. I'm, like I said, I don't edit videos. I know I should, but I don't. So if Kyle's, not on the water fishing, he's off the water fishing. It's a 24/7 thing for him. He does all his video editing, and as you know, that's hours of work. So Kyle doesn't get a whole lot of rest and downtime. Like I said, he does so much for his sponsors as well as plugging them in his videos. So yeah, he kind of handles the ins and outs of Kyle Cordiana fishing, and then I handle all my stuff for the quilting business and my mom. Yeah.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
I like the separation because it gives you each something to talk about, but also your separate identities too.
That's really important because it's easy to get really like engulfed by the fishing stuff because it, like I said, it's a 24/7 thing. So the quilting has been like a healthy outlet for me to still have my own thing going at the same time.
Yeah, because like since working for Matt, traveling with him, obviously we live together, all of the things, like I definitely am Matt Becker fishing as well as him. And so that was one thing, and one reason why I wanted to start Random Kitchens too is because you need, something that's just yours. So I love that you guys have y'all's, both sides of the business. And then obviously, like, I know you don't do the editing. I love the editing. That's why I'm like, eat up with it. But I know you support him on the back end so much.
Definitely. Yeah.
What is something, so I know you touched on like laundry, clean, keeping everything going, and obviously all of life's decisions off the water, God knows there's a million. So what is something totally random that you do that like he likes, but he's never really like asked you to do it or anything like that, but you think that it helps him just be successful
on the water?
Yeah.
I don't know. We're not really like superstitious about things.
It was like, do you have like a routine or traditions you guys like to do that you keep consistent?
Not really. Should we? I don't know.
Everyone has like different little things. Like, I mean, I have like a million because I was like a dancer, and dancers are typically pretty superstitious, or like performers are. Yeah. So like I just create them, I think, for my own self in my own head. But
no, I used to I always make his sandwiches, because if you are married to a fisherman and they fish competitively, they will not eat while they are in the water unless they have drive time. So really a sandwich is the best thing for them to eat while they're driving. So I used to write, like, on the Ziploc bags. I draw funny pictures or just wish him good luck, tell him I love him, just so he knows I'm there and supporting him. But we're trying to go more green, so we don't use as much Ziplocs anymore. So I have some waterproof containers. But I think I might start writing a note.
Yeah, like a little sticky or something.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cute. Yeah. I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I might have to do the stickies. I have a girlfriend, actually, and her husband, they do sticky notes, like, around their house. And so they're always, like, kind of hidden, but it's like you open the cabinet to get a cup and you, like, see a sticky note.
That's cute.
I thought it was, too.
It's a constant reminder.
Yes, but I like it on a lunch bag because they'll never know until they open it.
I saw where one lady takes a bite out of her husband's sandwich. That way she can always have lunch with him.
Oh my gosh.
Have you seen that?
I did.
Yes.
I was thinking, so actually, like, in prep for this podcast, I was, like, thinking through everything, and I was making their lunches this morning, and I almost took a bite. Matt gets 2 sandwiches. I almost took a bite, and then I was like, I wonder what he would say if he saw a Happy Eaten sandwich in his thing. But
you should do that.
I know. I just, like, not tell him.
You should do that.
I'm actually down. I would definitely do it. So with the invitationals, they're a little different than the Bass Pro Tour. Like she was saying, Bass Pro Tour is every fish counts, but it's catch, weigh, release right at the boat. And invitationals, they bring in 5 fish to weigh. And I wanted to know, because Matt kind of has a little tell. Does Kyle have a tell on whether it was, like, a good day or a bad day? Like, can you see it when you're walking up to the boat?
For sure. Like, if Kyle's really quiet and not super excited when he's docking the boat, or if he says, I'm sorry, babe, I'm like, right, that breaks my heart. Like, you try so hard. Like, don't ever apologize to me. You know, I'm so proud of him no matter what he catches. So, and fishing's just tough. You can have the best practice ever, and tournament might not produce the same fish. So,
well, and they're wild animals. Like, they just, they do their own thing.
So, that's kind of his telltale sign if he's kind of quiet. I know that maybe it wasn't the best day, but.
Is he really excited when he has a good day?
You could see that, like, spunk and that smile on his face.
He's, like, a little more bouncy.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I love that. I love seeing them. Like, Matt does this, like, little, like, smirk thing. Because, I mean, he's very, you know, like,
even kill
human, but he has this little, like, and he'll go, oh, gosh. And I'm like, you had a good day, dude. Yeah. And he'll, like, stretch, like, you know, he's been working hard.
That is so funny. No, it just warms your heart to see him excited like that. Yeah.
Do you watch live?
I do. So, obviously, in this format that we fish, if he's on live feed, that means he's catching fish typically. So, of course, I love watching him live. Like I said, he's a good showman for the sport. So, I think he's entertaining to watch on camera, too. So, yeah, it makes my heart happy to see him.
Do you like watching the other anglers, or do you just turn it on when he's on?
I mean, mostly, of course, I'm rooting for my guy, but I get excited for, like, all my friends, like you, like, if Matt's catching them, or Spencer Sheffield, like, I get really excited watching those guys, too. Drew Gill, all of Kyle's buddies,
all good people.
Yeah.
I know, I like watching, like, specific people. I'll, like, turn it down if it's not, or if I, like, know Matt's having a hard day, like, I'll turn it down because I just, like, can't hear other people until he, like, catches them or catches up, like, then I can turn it back up.
Well, but you also think, like, am I being bad luck? Like, I just need to walk away for a second. Like,
it's like, why do we do that to ourselves?
I don't know,
I get in my own head.
I'm the same way. Yeah, I'm the same way.
It's, like, so wild what, you know, what we do to ourselves. So, what is your favorite thing about tournament fishing life?
Oh, my favorite thing.
Actually, let me do this in a 2-part if you don't mind. What was your favorite thing before you started traveling?
Okay.
And then what is your favorite thing now that you are traveling?
Okay, that's good. So before traveling, obviously watching him on the live feed. I remember being like at work. Like, for example, working in the cardiac cath lab, we have a monitoring room. So if we didn't have any patients, I have a computer. Like, I would click it on to the live feed, and all of us are in our scrubs around the computer, like, rooting Kyle on, you know. So that was always fun, just having my friends and coworkers being supportive of me and being excited for Kyle and his successes. Since traveling, I think just having that front row seat to his success and just chasing his dream, like, I love it. I wouldn't want to be doing anything else, and I love that I get to be there every day to root him on and just live this experience with him.
It too. Mm-hmm. I know. It's the best. Do you think that it's a different feeling, like being in the mix, than you got to kind of understand before? Or did you always feel that, like, hype even at the house?
Oh, I still felt the hype at the house for sure, but I would say it's on another level now. Like, I'll be watching it in the camper, the live feed, like, cheering on. I'm sure the camper's, like, shaking and stuff. And just to be there at weigh-ins, to greet him when he pulls into dock. Like, that just... I never got to do that when he was traveling before. I had to work, so...
I liked, like, when I was working and watching live, I think it's because Ricky's back, but when I was working and watching live, I loved it, like... It was, I feel like it was like a very singular thing. I feel like traveling, you get people around you that you can also be stoked with. Like, at home, like, I was always, like, super intense watching it, and I could, like, hype myself up and, like, tell people on the phone. But I do think, like, being here, like, in the action, seeing them come in, like, it's just, like,
it's totally different.
It, like, elevates it
for
so
sure.
much.
It's totally different,
But both, like, so fun. I'm, like, obsessed with it. It's just so good. Okay. No, he's okay. Unless you just went to... What are you doing?
What are you barking about?
He'll be in a second.
Silly.
So, what do you think, after doing this life, what do you think makes a successful angler?
I think patience, following your gut instinct. I tell that to Kyle all the time. Just go with your gut. Like, you have succeeded thus far. You know what you're doing. Just follow your gut. And just don't get in your own headspace.
It is such a mental game.
Oh, it's totally mental. And just have fun and remember you're getting to chase your dream. And don't get too caught up in the moments and get frustrated. Like, you're outside fishing doing what you love. So, I think those are the biggest things. Just, to be successful. Yeah.
No, I totally agree. I think, like, specifically the patience. God knows. Gosh. Like, I was not given that gift. So, it's actually probably a huge blessing on our side that they have that gift because Lord knows I am not patient. So.
I mean, Kyle, I've been fishing with him. He can fish all day long. And he may have one of those days where the fish aren't biting, but he still enjoys it. I'm like,
and he still is like focused and dedicated and like going after it. I know. It's actually, I mean, I said on the last podcast, like, it's beautiful, but it really is. Like, it is. It's nice to be around someone like that.
Oh, yeah.
So, if a new lady is becoming part of the fishing family or part of this, like, crazy tournament fishing world, what's your best piece of advice for her?
Be supportive because, once again, this is a 24/7 thing for these guys. If they're not on the water fishing, they're doing something off the water to, increase their potential to win a tournament. So, just being there for them, rooting them on. If they need help with something, that's the biggest thing. But also don't lose yourself in it as well. Find your own thing to do. Like the quilting's been a saving grace. And Marshall, my best little buddy, has been a saving grace for me. But just be supportive of your man.
And I like the don't lose yourself too. I think that is really good advice. Because you can get lost in it for sure. It's just so much. Like, there's so much.
Oh.
So, one of the things we do, and I'll ask you this too, but our last guest asked a question of our next guest without knowing who it was going to be. So, Anna asked, how many more years would you like to see your husband fish professionally?
Okay. I guess in my head, this, like, random number of... I guess like 10 years pops in my head. Kyle's 41, so 10 years he'll be 51, which is still really young for the sport. I want Kyle to fish at this level as long as he's enjoying it and it's successful for us. If I feel like it's weighing him down and he's not enjoying it as much as he should be, then I'm ready to buy a lake house and Kyle can guide on the lake. That's my dream. But if Kyle wants to do this well into his 70s, I'm here for it. I mean, I know Rick Clun is like 70-something. He's still doing this. So these guys are so passionate about this sport. So honestly, I want Kyle to do it as long as he wants to. Yeah. And I'm here for it. Yeah.
Good. Yeah. If y'all weren't fishing, would he be guiding?
We've talked about that. He has friends in real estate. We thought we might do real estate. He obviously has his civil engineering background to fall back on, and I know his work would welcome him back with open arms. So it's comforting knowing we have these fallbacks. Yeah. I would like to see him be a fish guide somewhere. I think he would be excellent at that. Yeah.
He's like a very educational human. So like I feel like to be guided by him, it would be an enjoyable experience.
Definitely. Like, he's a lot of fun in his boat, and he could teach people a lot and put them on the fish. So I think he'd be successful at that. Yeah.
Good.
Maybe one day.
Yeah. So we're going to do one more question, and then we'll finish up with some quick hits, which we've touched on one of them, but we'll go back. Yeah. So what are you most proud that you guys have accomplished together? Like fishing or non-fishing, but just in your relationship together.
This year will be our 15th wedding anniversary, so I'm proud of us. We've accomplished a lot in our marriage. We built a beautiful home, and but I think I'm just most proud of us for just going all in this fishing thing, because that was a big decision, and I think half the people we told were like, y'all are nuts, you're crazy, what are you doing? And then the other half were so supportive, like, you're young, you're able, like, chase your dreams while you can. So I'm proud of us for just taking that risk on and chasing Kyle's dream and just living in the moment and enjoying every moment of it. So I think that's a lot. But I'm proud of it.
I'm proud of you guys too, honestly.
You too.
Like, I am very proud of y'all. I think you built something amazing. I think, everything he has done, everything you've done with your business, like, I am very proud of you guys.
Aww, thanks, Brittany.
So, quick hit wise, what's your biggest bass and where did you catch it?
So, I couldn't even tell you what my biggest bass was. I'm going to guess like 4 or 5 pounds. Not that impressive. But
I think it's impressive.
Do you?
Yes.
Yeah. I will say, when Kyle caught that mako shark I was telling you about, when we went deep sea fishing, I told him, I want to catch a blowfish. And Kyle laughed at me.
Oh, they're so cute.
He's like, you're not going to catch a blowfish. I'm like, but that's what I want to catch because they're my favorite. And so we're deep sea fishing, and lo and behold, the first fish I catch is a blowfish. And
did he puff up?
He did. They were like poking him.
Yeah, he had to like tickle.
Yeah, and he puffed up. And then the guy running the boat, he's like, that's so random. We never catch those out here.
Gosh.
Yeah. And then
put it out, God provides.
It was meant to be.
Blowfish included.
And then when me and Kyle were dating, we would go to this little trout pond that was stocked with trout, and we would catch rainbow trout. Oh. But every now and then you would catch a bright yellow trout.
What?
Yes, they would call them like a banana trout, and it has to do with something in the
like their genetics.
Yeah, something in what's the word? Melanin. Melanin in their skin would make them a bright yellow. Pigments? Yeah. Huh. So it was like, we always joke, like, whoever caught it was like the lucky fish or whatever. So I have some cool pictures of those trout. They're really pretty.
I have never seen that.
It's
I'm going to
really
have to Google that.
Yeah.
So I know, obviously, you haul the camper. Can you back a boat, too?
I can.
You back the camper, too?
Yes.
You back it all?
I can back it all. Lots of practice. When we first started, I was not that good at it. And I have learned that backing a fifth wheel is totally different than a bass boat. And the reaction time is totally different. So I have to, like, rewind my brain when I'm backing in the boat trailer. Like, okay, this moves a lot quicker than the fifth wheel. So
because the pivot point is, like, totally different.
It's so smaller, yeah. So I would say 95% of the time I can back a boat trailer in. But there's that 5% of the time if you're at, like, a busy ramp or it's not very long so you can't get real straight, like... It's not pretty, so I'm sorry to all the other anglers out there that I'm taking so long, but usually the guys are really supportive, and they're proud of the wives and girlfriends for just helping their man back the boat trailer in, so yeah.
I know, I like when they cheer it on.
Yay!
I know, especially especially like if it's like a really hard one and you're like half crooked and they're like, you did so good.
Right?
Like,
they just rate
did you
on.
see it?
Sometimes I go really slow,
Yes.
but you know what? I get it in there for him, so.
What is y'all's like go-to show or movie? Do y'all watch shows?
Yeah. Like we use our hotspot. We'll watch Netflix or something. I'm a Wheel of Fortune nerd. Like every night at 6:30, I watch Wheel of Fortune.
Love it.
I love Dateline. Yeah. Lots of Dateline. And I'm a sucker for like a good documentary, like Netflix documentaries. I love those. And then like the occasional trash TV. Or I like suspense. I like to read suspense novels. So I like a good movie where it, like the timeline changes and then it all comes together at the end. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
I'm reading Butcher and Wren right now. The Butcher and the Wren, and it is like it would be right up your alley. Ooh, it's like suspense, thriller, crime. Like one of my friends, Jen Murphy, gave it to me or let me borrow it, and I'm like. Very into it. Ricky just talked. Okay, last question, and then we'll follow up or finish at the end. So, if you guys were playing Uno together in a big group, and you had a draw 4 card, would you play it on Kyle, or would you wait till you got a reverse and play it on someone else?
This is not a real question, right? Of course I'm playing it on Kyle. Like, of course. Like, you always have to get that payback moment, so I would play it on Kyle. But the thing is, Kyle's really lucky, so, like, on the next turn, I would get it. Like, he would play it on me, so, yeah. Definitely play it on him.
Yes, you just never know. Okay, so final thing before we close this out. Like I said, Anna asked this question, and I'm taking this from another podcast because I love that they do it. So what is a question you have for our next guest without knowing who it is? It could be a traveling wife or girlfriend. It could be someone who stays at home. It could be the mom of a traveling son. Anybody. Okay.
I think for me, as someone who travels with their husband, sometimes you get lost in the moment of fishing. So my question would be, what do you do together, non-fishing related, to help stay bonded? Like something you enjoy doing together.
I like that. What do you guys do?
We do sushi date nights. We both like sushi, so that's something special for us. And it's just
nice. Do y'all go out or do you make it?
No, we go out. I haven't adventured that far to make it on my own yet. We've done that with other couples where we make them, and it's hilarious because the rolls come out like
little lobs, like a little cricket bed.
Way too big, yeah. But no, we'll go out, and it's just nice to have that time together, face each other, no distractions, no phones. So we do sushi dates or go have Mexican and have margarita. Yeah.
All the good things.
Yeah, nothing fancy.
So guys, that is our show. Thank you so much for being here. If you want to follow Kyle's journey, we're on the way to the BPT this year through the invitationals. Where can they follow him?
Okay.
Follow. I don't know why I'm filing.
Hey, we can file.
Yeah, we're filing him.
You can follow him on his YouTube. That's his biggest platform, Kyle Cortiana Fishing. He spends endless hours on editing all this content, so please go watch, subscribe his Kyle Cortiana Fishing page. Also, Facebook, Kyle Cortiana Fishing. Instagram, same thing. Check him out. And then where can they follow you and your quilting? Facebook is my platform, Wildflower Quilting. It's a pretty little blue symbol with wildflowers on it. You can follow us there, and if you're interested in buying a quilt, just reach out to me and we'll get you something you like. Yeah. How did you guys come up with Wildflower Quilting? You know, it's funny. We thought about what are we going to name this business, and we kept going back and forth over different things, and we just finally settled on, I like flowers, Mom does too, and what girl doesn't like wildflowers? Yeah. So, I don't know. It just seemed fitting. I was thinking about it, and I was like, you're such a wildflower, too, because y'all obviously go, wherever the wind takes you, but you bloom so perfectly where you are. Oh, that's so sweet. And I was like, I wonder if she thought about this when they were naming it. I did, but I might have to steal it. Yes, please do. I was like, oh, that is so fitting. Like, I love it so much. Sweet. Yeah. So go and follow them, and obviously you guys know this. I love all of the women behind Professional Bass Fishing. I think it takes a lot to be in this world. I think they do a lot, so I can't wait to keep sharing
their stories. If y'all have any questions you want me to ask or add in, or if you have any guests that you want me to bring on, please feel free to comment below. I plan to do 1 episode a week through this entire season. So please subscribe and like and follow me as well. So Random Kitchens, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. That was fun.
Good. I will see you guys next time.